Buddy Rob Cootie here, the MLM Solution. How you doing today? Today is going to be Wednesday, the 28th of April. Can you believe that? My word. 28th of April. It's currently 10:57 and 12 seconds after. And today, as you know, we always go live 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as you can see on the ticker, on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. We will be having an interesting subject today, and it is your insurance policy. And really, it should say your business insurance policy, because we're not talking about life insurance, we're not talking about home insurance, we're talking about business insurance. And no, we're not talking about you can take out insurance on your business that you work out of your home, but that's not what we're talking about either. We're talking about securing your income, your lifestyle, by building in, quote unquote, an insurance policy as you're in the business building mode. If you don't know what we're talking about, if you're not aware of this, you need to join us today. As always, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you will, please share our podcast on other social media platforms, plus our website, with our fellow network marketers across the globe. You can do that by utilizing hashtag TheMLM-Solution, hashtag TheMLM-Solution. If you're out and about on the internet and run into some fellow network marketers, please let them know that we exist and that this content exists. And please go to our website. I know you guys have been rocking that thing big time. We're so thankful for that. TheMLM-Solution.net, and you guys are doing this podcasting the same. It's just rock and roll. All right, guys, with that being said, we thank you so much for everything. We look forward to having you guys on board at 11 a.m. I need to get off of here so we can get the show started. See you in a bit.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Happy Hump Day, Miss Marie. How are you today?
I am doing well. Yes, it is the middle of the week. How are you this morning, Rob?
I'm doing great. Having my last cup of coffee here. I usually drink one, maybe two. Outside of that, it's like, okay, that's enough. I can't handle too much of it, but I do like it. It helps me to ease into my day. We're sitting on the front porch this morning. It's a beautiful day. Just a great way to start the day. Had the dogs in my lap. Our poor little Lukey was sick this morning. He threw up. Yeah. You know, because he's just had that surgery, and of course that always makes me nervous. But anyway, he seems to be fine. As you can see, he's in the background, laying down back there, and he's definitely a different dog. There's no doubt about it. Sometimes he's like a puppy, got all this energy and focus. You can definitely tell the weight made a difference. And other times he's like, man, I don't feel good. So I'm not sure what's going on from one extreme to the other. But you know what? We're monitoring him. He seems to be doing well.
Well, that's good. Hopefully he just keeps getting better and we get a little bit more of that puppy back.
I agree with that. I agree. You know, if he can figure out how to get that fountain of youth, I wish he'd pass it on to me. Oh, man. I know that I got that sun in my eyes, and I apologize. I don't know if it's as irritating to the viewers as it is to me. And I do have the blinds closed, but, man, it makes it tough. It still, as you can tell, makes its way in. We got these wooden blinds, and they don't close as tight as the vinyl ones.
Well, apparently not. It looks like you're wearing a striped shirt. I kind of feel like I'm playing Where's Waldo.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. That's a good one. I like that. All right, Miss Marie, we got a good subject today. We've been on a roll the last couple of weeks. As I said, we really have a good subject today. It's a subject that's very important, and a lot of people, I guarantee you, do not know about this. We're going to talk about, people say, well, how do you build an insurance policy into your business as you're building it? And we're going to talk about that. But we're also going to talk about how the numbers will tell you whether you need that insurance policy. I say, personally, do it anyway. Okay. And we're going to talk about that in greater detail here in a moment.
Yeah,
Because
I have to tell you though that the topic of this morning's podcast, I was looking at it and it always makes my stomach twist just a little bit, because whenever I think about insurance, and a lot of our listeners, viewers may be
yes,
thinking the same thing, it's spending good money now on something you hope you're never going to have to use.
that's right. There
And
you go.
somehow, when you do need to use it, they try not to pay out on it, whether it's home insurance, car insurance, life insurance, whatever it may be. Well, this insurance is just a little bit different. And
Yes.
one thing I wanted to make sure we do up front here is, when we're talking about insurance and your insurance policy for your business, we're talking about within your network marketing business, not a business insurance policy. That's something different.
That's right.
We are not tax or legal professionals. If you are looking into building your business correctly as a business, insurance is something you may want to look into.
Yes.
But you want to consult your tax and legal professionals, not us. Anything we give you here is just our opinion and for educational purposes only. And it's actually not traditional insurance that we're going to be talking about. So.
That's right. And Miss Maria, we need to do a show on that.
What's that?
On the legal issues and the insurance issues for business, if they're running out of their home, et cetera, because there's a lot of, we have not done that. And we'll preface that whole show. I'm actually making a banner. It says, we are not professionals, consult your, agent, et cetera, as we do the show. But we need to talk about that because, man, there's so many people that are unprepared. And if they have somebody come to their home and slip and fall, you put your whole life in on the line, and it's just not good. Anyway, we'll talk about that another day. That's an important subject. Man, we've been on a road coming up with new content. You and I, it seems like you and I never talk about or worry about running out of content. And I really thought when you and I started working together, I thought that was going to be a major challenge. But we seem to just constantly have really great subject matter that's relevant. And I throw that word relevant because it's important that we not drag people along with irrelevant content just to have a show,
Well, there's a lot to think about. I mean, once you get into the network marketing industry and implementing it as a business to leverage its potential to build wealth for you, to help you achieve your success, level of success and the dreams that you're after, there are lots of different things that come into play that most people don't think of. Because on the front end, like we always say, most people are introduced by a friend or family member, and it's portrayed to be this simple, easy thing. But if you treat it like a business, there's a lot that goes with that, as with any business.
Yeah. And you know what? There's another show, Treat It Like a Business, Treat It Like the Business It Is. We need to do a show on that because you're right. We've done a couple things on the mindset a little bit. I have mixed emotions about that self-improvement stuff. Self-improvement is an important part of life. There's no doubt about it. I'm talking about the industry of self-improvement, which can be riddled with questionable product and people. Let's be honest. That's, I think, the problem I have with it. But anyway, the point is that that's the mindset of approaching this as a business, an international. You and I touched on it lightly, but we need to do a show on it because, Miss Marie, you're absolutely right. If you say, well, this is just a home-based business, a little rinky-dink, guess what you're going to get, Miss Marie?
A little rinky-dink.
There it is. It's going to be exactly what you said. So, yeah, great. Well, she's on a roll, man. She's on it. All right. So with that being said, guys, insurance policy, she clarified it correctly. This is about building in an insurance policy to stabilize your business for the long term, and so that it can support or provide the income that will support the lifestyle you want. That's what we're talking about. And it's all about numbers. We harp on the numbers in network marketing all the time. And guess what? Like always, your back office combined with your knowledge of the numbers of network marketing as you're building your business are going to tell you whether you need an insurance policy or not. It's not a requirement, but boy, I think you'll want to do it because, to be honest with you, once you complete the business building process, unless you decide to do a phase 3, uh, to conduct the phase 3 activity, you're putting yourself and your business in jeopardy. And we touched on that lightly, I think yesterday or Monday, I can't remember which one, Miss Marie, where we talked about, the 3 to 5 legs, 95%. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, please go back and listen to episodes of Monday and Tuesday. I think it's 170 and 171. So with that being said, guys, here's what we're referring to. When you sit down, if Miss Marie and I join a company, it's just better to use us as an example. Like we said, Miss Marie and I, you say, well, Rob, how do you determine the numbers? If you run into a new company, how do you know? Well, inherently, because of my experience, I can almost look at the company and pretty much have a real good idea of what I need to do as far as numbers. Okay. And the only numbers I can control is the number of people I can sponsor. So one of the first things when I'm checking out a new company is I'll look at the comp plan for a number of reasons, but I'll look at the comp plan to see if there's any limitations on me sponsoring people. If there's not, then right away I know that I have something. I have something I can work with because I know the numbers in my head that never change. The 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 never changes. So that is the basis upon which I can build my business. Knowing if I sponsor 60 people, 18 will take, approximately 18 people are going to take immediate action of some type, whether it's large, medium, or small. And then there's another third that'll come on later that'll be large, medium, and small. It's just the way it plays out. So knowing that, I say, okay, and I look at the comp plan, and then what's the second thing I'm going to look at? 10,000 group volume. If I create 10,000 group volume, and this is before I joined the company, because if that company is paying me pennies on the dollar, when I generate 10,000 group volume, I'm not joining that company. I don't care how great the product is, because I can't make any money. I can't look people in the eye, and I can't build a downline, a stable downline. I can build one, but it's not going to be stable. It won't be long-term. So what's going to end up happening? I'm going to be lying to people from day one because I know it's not stable because they're paying pennies on the dollar. And I know that if I try to recruit other high-level professional business builders into this new company, guess what they're going to do? They're going to look at the comp plan and say, Rob, there's no money there. I'm not joining. Well, I can't believe you joined it. Okay. Well, I really like the product. Rob, you're not a product person. How could you say that? So I'm banging myself into a corner, ruining my reputation and my credibility if I was to join a company that pays me pennies on the dollar. Now, here's the thing. If the 10,000 group volume payout is good, if there's no limitation on the number of people that I can sponsor, once again, I'm getting a little bit excited because I see where there's real potential here. All right. And of course, then I evaluate the rest of the comp plan. Is it fair and equitable to everybody? In other words, is there money for new people? Is there transitional money? So et cetera, et cetera. Once I get all that done, I say, okay, this is really got something here. I think I can make this happen. I can look people in the eye and I can honestly tell them there's a real chance here. So as I take off and I start building and I work I'm constantly going in the back office. I'm constantly working the numbers to make sure, because the numbers will start revealing themselves. Well, the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 is never going to change. But what I'm saying is I may have to sponsor 75 people instead of 60. I may only need 45. That is yet to be determined. Okay. Because what's my goal? To maximize the comp plan, the financial opportunity that company provides me. And I want to maximize that comp plan and the opportunity, which pretty much go hand in hand, as quickly as possible. Why? If I could build the business, if I could max out the comp plan, guys, in 8 months, and the company is not even a year old yet, okay, let's say it's 9 months old and I've been in it for 8 months. Well, guess what? I've got another 2-year ride where I can make a lot of money, okay? And that's my goal, to make as much money as I can as quickly as I can. So I need to maximize that comp plan as quick as I possibly can, meaning I got to do a 90-day mini blast and it's got to be massive action, meaning that I may stretch, instead of sponsoring 60 people in 90 days, I may say I'm going to sponsor 90 people in 90 days. Now, this is not about new company and all that. I'm setting the foundation for the insurance policy. So I log into my back office as I'm doing my 90-day mini blast, and I'm starting to see that, you know what, I'm going to hit my 60 people mark before the 90 days. you know what, this is a great chance for me to build in an insurance policy. And you say, well, how do you know that? Because of experience. I know that the 1/3 is going to continue to do its magic. It doesn't stop once the 90-day mini blast, and the 1/3 is always working. Okay, so I know my ultimate goal. I know that I can't beat 3 to 5 legs. It's going to produce 95% of my income. There's just no way. I mean, it's never exact, Miss Marie. It may be 3, it may be 2, it may be 6, it may be 7. You don't know. But on average, Miss Marie, it's 3 to 5 legs are going to create 95% of your income. Well, guys, that should scare the crap out of you. Okay. Now, you're saying, well, Rob, that's easy. Just do a phase 3 and create another 3 to 5 legs that create 95% out of that 90-day mini blast. That is theoretically a great idea. You know, that shows me you're thinking if you're already thinking that. But that's not always how it works. You say, then why even bother doing an insurance policy? Guys, look, the second 3 to 5 people that could produce 95% of that income out of the second 90-day mini blast doesn't always equal the first 3 to 5. Why? Miss Marie, because the opportunities change. Company might be in a phase 2. Okay. The income may not be the same. Sure, you could use the term 95%. Those people create 95% of the income from that second mini blast, but they may never equal the 95% that's being created in the first 3 to 5 people. Does that make sense, Miss Marie?
Well, I think it's a little bit confusing there because you're talking about 95% of your income in the first 90 days and then 95% of the income in the second 90 days. And I'm like, isn't that 190%? That's
No, totally. Because the 3 to 5% only applies to the 90-day mini blast that you're doing. If you're doing a phase 1, that 3 to 5% applies to that one. If you're doing phase 3, then 95% applies to that activity. Okay. Do they meld together in the overall picture? Sure, they're all part of your organization. But guess what? The income that you create in your second phase based on the company, okay, is it still going in exponential growth or is it starting to go down? Okay, so the 95% is not going to be the same. And you can't go into it thinking that, Miss Marie. What it is this. Let's say the second 3 to 5 legs in the second mini blast is creating, keep the numbers, $7,500 a month. And let's say the 3 to 5 legs in the first mini blast is creating $15,000 a month. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so together, that's a great thing. But what you've done is the people in the second 90-day mini blast, those 3 to 5 people, okay, because the numbers are going to do their thing, they're going to be essentially the same. Here's the thing. If somebody out of the first 90-day mini blast, those 3 to 5 people, if somebody was the lead, pass away, sell their business, these second 3 to 5 legs out of the second mini blast is to supplement that loss. They may not replace it. Okay. Now you may get lucky if that company's like New Skin, Miss Marie, I really don't like using that example because here's the thing. New Skin was the last hyper growth company in network marketing. That was an anomaly. So to expect that to happen again is going to be pretty unrealistic. But in that situation, Miss Marie, if you did multiple 90-day mini blasts because that ride was so long, you had a realistic chance that your second and third mini blast could equal or surpass your first one because the company was continuing that incredible climb. All right. So, but that's not normal. So you can't sit here and say that your second 90-day mini blast is going to equal or surpass the first one because the first one catches the company in that exponential growth and you're out there aggressively going after it. The second 90-day mini blast may not, based on the company, do that. Now, we tell people that's what you want to do because we tell people phase 3 is to maximize that financial opportunity. But you and I are assuming, Miss Marie, that company is still growing. And right. We have to have some kind of baseline. You know, we got to be positive and not negative. I think everybody gets that it may not be going through that growth at that time. You and I know, Miss Marie, if we join a new company in its second year, we may be catching the tail end of that phase 1 growth. And that company may go into early phase 2 growth relatively soon. meaning you and I would know that a phase 3 90-day mini blast may not produce the results that we want. So we would say, I'm not sure that's worth it. I'm just here to make as much money as I can with phase 1 and 2, right?
Exactly. And that's the clarification I was looking for. I think the first 90-day mini blast and the second 90-day mini blast, the way we originally started talking about it, it was kind of melding a little bit. And I think I just wanted to make sure we were clear with everybody.
Well, thank you for that. And I hope I cleared that up really well. Okay, so back to the insurance policy. And the stuff we just talked about is part of this insurance policy. What I'm saying is in my first 90-day mini blast, as I work through that and I look at the numbers and I say, you know what, I'm going to make my 60 people before my 90 days. I'm going to go ahead and sponsor 75 people. Now, what am I doing in this situation? I may go past that 90-day. We talked about transitions. We talked about the importance of understanding those transitions. And Miss Marie, in this situation, let's say that I have 60 people on my 80th day. I beat my 90-day goals, did I not? Or I met them. I didn't beat them yet. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I've got some time. I'm on a roll. I got momentum going. And you and I talk about that all the time. Don't slow that down. So what am I doing here? Because of my experience, I'll say, all right, I got 60 people. I know the one third. You know what? I got time. I'm going to go for 75 people. Now, it may take me to 102 days, Miss Marie, or maybe 110 days. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because I understand that I'm at that moment. Guys, here's what we're talking about. Is we said 90 days, if there's any solid moment, we always tell you the 90-day goals that you have should be that moment where you stick your head up. We always say that. We'll never change that. It's true. But if you have already met your number of the people that you want to sponsor, in other words, in this example, 60, and I've done it in 80 days instead of 90, I've stuck my head up because I'm evaluating my results and I'm saying, hey, I'm good. I'm on a roll. I'm going to keep the roll going here. I'm going to build my insurance policy in because I know the one third is going to work its magic. And I want to have more than 3 to 5 legs creating 95% of my income. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's what I'm doing. That's the reason why I'm going to 75, because my experience has taught me, hey, you've got this moment. You've got momentum. You may not capture this again, and you can't depend on the phase 3. You need to do it now while the company's in that exponential growth. Because Miss Marie, it could change tomorrow. It could change next month. All of a sudden, the company's under investigation by the government, or all of a sudden, one of the products hurts somebody, or that's very rare. I'm going to tell you that in network marketing, but you get my point. Or they change the comp plan. Something dramatic could happen. I've got to take action while I've got the momentum. I've got a name list. You and I talked about that. You know what? I've got people that I'm following up with. I'm just going to go ahead and run with it. So I'm going to work until I get my 75 people. And Miss Marie, this number 75 that I've put down is very important. And I've got to run with it until I get to those 75 people. The reason is because I know the numbers are going to work against me if I don't reach those 75. Does that make sense?
Right.
If I stop at 72, I might as well not even sponsor those extra 12 people. I've got experience shows me that, hey, I need 75. Okay. And so I'm going to work to that 75. I don't care if it takes me 120 days. I've got to get to 75 and then transition over as quickly as I can into phase 2 because I'm behind. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm already getting behind. The bigger I build it, the more leaders I develop, the behinder I get, if that makes sense, in the phase 2 process. Okay. So hopefully I didn't confuse anybody. Does that all come together in your head, Miss Marie? Does there anything need to be clarified there?
No, I think that makes sense. I think the only thing that people may be questioning here is if you hit, the difference between 72 and 75 is just 3 people. Is it really that impactful?
Yeah, you'll find out. I'll tell you that if you don't do it. And this is an example. Every company, every comp plan is different, guys. I wish I could give you a solid number. And you got to understand that all the variables and the synergy all goes as part of that. What I'm saying is sometimes it's your gut feeling, Miss Marie. You look at the numbers, the numbers, they don't lie. And sometimes your gut says, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's a tough decision to make. It never hurts to go to 75. Okay. And here's the thing. You never know if that 75th person is going to be your Jerry Campese or your Richard Call. Okay. Now that means, well, you could say, well, Rob, then you might as well go to 76. Well, I get your point. But the thing is, I'm letting the numbers tell me that, hey, this is what needs to happen. If you're going to go strictly by the numbers, 75 is going to work in this situation because of the comp plan, because of where the company is at this point in its growth. Miss Maria, I wouldn't go to 75 if the company was 2 years old. Does that make sense?
Right. Okay. Because again, you're talking about catching that growth curve and really taking advantage of the growth in the comp plan that you get early on in the company.
There it is. That's right. That's right. And see, if the company sticks around and I'm with the company until year 3, and I say, wow, this company's really doing something special. It's got a chance to stick around, for year 5, year 7. I can see some potential here. And what am I going to do? I'm going to do a phase 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do it as quick as I can. But the thing is that that is yet to be determined. And it's all determined by what happens. And it'll become very clear, Miss Marie, if you need an insurance policy or if you did it right as you do phase 2. As you work with your leaders in phase 2, everything starts to settle. You know that. The dust starts to settle. Your real leaders start to show up. Some of the other leaders start falling away or go to another company. In other words, the dust starts settling. And the numbers start to lay out right in front of you. And so then you'll know who the real players are, right? And whether you need to do a phase 3 will become very clear. And it will also become very clear that your insurance policy either did work or didn't work. And here's where the 72 may come in versus 75. Okay. As the dust settles and you have 2 or 3 people that are, let's say, medium size going to big time, decide to go to another company. If you didn't have that 75, those extra 3 people really become important because now the numbers are not in your favor. Does that make sense? You did all that hard work and you wanted, let's say, maybe 9 legs. That was a part of the 95% that's generating that 95% of your income. And now you're down to 7 because the numbers didn't work. The numbers haven't played out the way it was supposed to because those people left. You see what I'm saying? So instead of having 9, you might be down to 7 or 6. Well, what did sponsoring those extra 12 people do for you? Well, not a whole lot. You see what I'm saying? And you say, well, Rob, you still got leaders in your business that are generating income. That's right. But here's the thing. If those 3 to 5 people leave, let's say those 3 to 5 people leave, Miss Marie, you're left with a bunch of middle size businesses, small businesses, and customers. So your income's gone from $30,000 a month down to maybe $8,000. Not a good thing. If you have mortgages, your mortgage might be $8,000 a month, right?
Well, it's especially not good because most people are inclined to start spending to the level they achieve, right? So if you're spending at the $30,000 a month level and your income drops at all, much less down to 8,000, you're in a world of hurt, right? And I think this is why it's important that we talk about this insurance policy, because oftentimes people come into this business and the way it's presented is in a pretty idealistic fashion.
Yes.
It's like, well, you introduce this to 2 people and they introduce it to 2 people. And, by the end of the week, you have 12,000 people in your organization and they never leave. But that's not the case, right? No. Things happen. And your organization, the people that you have in it, they kind of come and go. There's transitioning in and out. That happens.
And life is going to happen, Miss Marie. It's going to hit your business. It's the reason why you need to build. And if you think that you're going to be able, well, that's okay. I'm not going to worry about the insurance policy. I think this subject matter is a little overblown. That's fine. You know what? Go ahead and do that. And here's what's going to happen when your business, because life's going to happen. Your business is going to take hits. I wish I could say it's not true. Okay. But it does. Sometimes it takes big hits. Here's what happens, guys. How are you going to recreate that momentum? You say, well, I'll do a phase 3. Well, phase 3 is done and gone. Phase 3 is part of that process. You basically are starting over at phase 1. Good luck. If the company's down the downslide and the buzz is gone, guys, you might as well just pack it up and go someplace else, or just ride it until the last penny is spent, because guess what? The rodeo's over. We talk about that momentum, Miss Marie, that synergy. You've got to have that. That's part of the business building process. It's the reason why with a new company, it's so important to catch it as early as possible, because you want that buzz, you want that synergy, you want people from other companies coming to join. You want to promote the product, the comp plan, the leadership. These are all marketing tools for you. Well, Rob, you're not a product person. No, I'm not. Okay. But here's what the professional business builders understand. If a company has to have a product people like and want, and it works, that's part of the formula. Okay. I've never said I don't like the product and won't talk about it, because more times than not, if Marie calls me, Marie will say, well, Rob, what's the product? Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like something people need. And it looks like something that people will want to take. That's encouraging. And, hey, what's the price on it? I mean, she understands you can't overprice these things. But the point is, guys, is that we understand that the product has a role. It's not the main focus. It is a role type tool, just like the comp plan. Well, what's a comp plan, Rob? Product sounds great. Oh, no, that's pennies on the dollar. Can't do it, Rob. I mean, if she's smart, she won't do it, because she won't be able to promote this and build a downline because the money's not there. She's not going to keep good quality people, because people catch on quickly that they're making pennies on the dollar, and their spouses are saying, what in the hell are you doing? You're spending all this time with this opportunity and you're getting pennies on the dollar, so it's not going to work, even though the product may be something that people want and need and works, of course. So, Miss Marie, the reason you build the insurance policy is for the long-term stability and profitability of your business. You want your business to be able to take life hits and survive. You don't want your income going from $30,000 a month down to $8,000. Okay. Here's the thing, guys. You got to realize not only life events, people sell their businesses, they're done. They want to do something else with their life. They get divorces. The business gets caught up in the divorce. People just, they pass away, and the other spouse doesn't have a clue how to run it, Miss Marie. They don't even know they can sell it, or they pass it on to their heirs, and their heirs are like, I don't know how to run this business. What do we do with this thing? And they just kind of let it die on the vine, unfortunately. Okay. But guys, there's other things that happen too. Okay. And you got to realize that you could wake up one day and the company could have closed its doors. You could wake up one day and there's a big major legal battle staring you in the face. Not you personally, but the company. There are so many things that could happen, Miss Marie, that could make a big hit. And what will happen, you'll have this mass exodus of people. They'll say, you know what, this company's dead in the water, Rob, I'm heading on. No, don't leave. Guess what? If you have, 4 or 5 of your biggest legs leave, Miss Marie, because of the legal issues or because of this, something major, guess what? You're going to wake up with less than $8,000 a month. And that's the reason why, Miss Marie, I tell you, stick with the basics, pay off all your debt. Especially if you're making $30,000 a month, guys, you should buy your cars with cash, used cars. On a home, I understand that, but you should not leverage. You shouldn't say, well, I'm making $30,000 a month and that'll never change. And all of a sudden wake up one day and, you're making $30,000 a month and your house payment's $8,000 a month. I mean, that's stupid. That's crazy. Okay. You should sock that money away, right, Miss Marie? We tell them, build up a nice nest egg in case something happens. We tell you those things for a reason. Well, the insurance policy helps you. It helps stabilize things, but you'll never be able to replace. You'll never, well, I won't say never, but you should never say never. I mean, human beings will always surprise you, but the chances are great that you're not going to be able to replicate that process again. In other words, raising from 8,000 back up to 30,000. It is a monumental effort. If you can pull it off, it's going to probably take you 2 to 3 times longer than it did in the initial business building process. Okay. And the reason being is, once again, all the variables, the synergy and the excitement and all of that has changed. It's not the same opportunity. So you're not going to be able to sponsor the same people. If Miss Marie and I ran into a company that we're both excited about, we would jump on it right away because we understand what's at stake, not because it's her and not because it's me. She said, she would say, well, I'm not going to join because of Rob. I'm going to join because I see what Rob sees. Okay. And she's excited about it. And that excitement's going to carry from her voice to her prospects and the people that she sponsors. And she's going to tell people, look, we got to work hard. We got to work fast. There's a great opportunity here to really take some money from this growth phase, but we all got to get our nose to the grind. Our nose to the grinding stone, guys. And so there's an urgency in her voice. They see her work ethic, the energy, the excitement, Miss Marie, is natural, right? During that phase.
Mm-hmm. It is. And the other thing to keep in mind too, part of the reason you build in the insurance policy is you have those life events that impact people, but there are also the company events that may impact some of your larger business builders as well.
Yeah.
If the company is growing and they decide to change the compensation plan, that may not work out to the benefit to some of the larger income earners potentially, and they may recognize that and go. I've seen companies either discontinue products that people loved or even make ingredient changes to products that affected the efficacy of those products. And then, that affects the customer base, and business builders may become disillusioned with the product and the company and go. So there are so many reasons why your business can be impacted negatively that you want to build in this insurance policy of having, more legs producing more volume just provides you a little bit more security.
Yes, absolutely. And this is one of the most important episodes that we do, Miss Marie. And once again, you and I get caught up in all the basics and we forget about these little nuggets right here that is so important. Because if you don't build the insurance policy in phase 1 and 2, guys, it's hard to do it in phase 3 and 4. I mean, it's almost impossible because phase 3, Miss Marie, goes from maximizing the financial opportunity a new company offers you to I'm trying to save my business. And that's not a good way to build a business in panic mode. Okay. It comes across. Okay. So, can you build in a insurance policy during phase 3 and 4? And that's what you're doing in phase 3. Okay. You are, even though you're doing a second 90-day mini blast to maximize, it's also an automatic insurance policy because the numbers are going to work in your favor. And the longer a company stakes around, if they do the international growth in a proper manner, the company should be around 5, 6, 7 years. Okay. And if they do that correctly, you could really have a long, profitable ride. And so phase 3 and 4, the business building process becomes more relevant. Whether it'll equal or surpass what you did in phase 1 and 2, I don't know. I'm not a soothsayer, so I can't really. Each situation is going to be different. If you're with new skin, I'd say you have a great chance at phase 3 and 4 be bigger than 1 and 2. And matter of fact, you probably get away with doing a phase 5 and 6 in new skin. Okay. So, and always remember, Richard Call, which once again is really an unfair example, but is an example, and it's happened more times than just Richard Call. He's the one story that I'm familiar with, and I know it's factual. You got to realize in 3 months, he put together one of the greatest organizations this industry's ever seen. Now, can you do that? If you're willing to put in 20 hours a day and be totally focused and just run through people like crazy, I would imagine, Miss Marie, he probably went through 1,000, maybe 2,000 people in that 90-day period. And I mean, literally talking to people. You're on the phone 20 hours a day, Miss Marie. I mean, each, 3 10-minute conversations, and that's it. I mean, he was just a freaking animal. And he would sponsor you and tell you this is what you need to do and move on to the next person. And then he was just bam, bam, bam. I would imagine he probably talked to 50, 75, maybe 100 people a day. I'd have to ask him. But I would imagine he sponsored hundreds of people. And without dragging this on, Campese, the Sex Smiths, Nathan Ricks, Mark Yarnell, just a few. Tim Sales. I'm leaving a lot of good people out. Guys, those are legendary business builders. I mean, that's a who's who of legendary business builders right there. So I'm leaving a lot of people out. And he got those people because he worked the numbers, right, Miss Marine? He literally 20 hours a day, that's working some numbers, right?
That is crazy to me.
I know it. I know. And he said, no matter what time I went to bed, I got up every day at 6 a.m. and started again. So, wow. Can you imagine what his phone bills were?
Oh, man. Yeah, this was back in the day when you paid like per long distance call. Your local calls, that was okay, but anything not even necessarily out of state, definitely out of state, but sometimes just out of your general local area, there was a charge. So yeah, I was nowhere near that dedicated, and I remember having pages and pages of phone bills because they list every call, right? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. I do.
Good grief. Yeah, that phone bill.
You were afraid to look at the last.
It almost looked like a phone book coming in the mail. It was so thick.
You're almost afraid to look at the last page. Total due. Oh my gosh. I remember getting $500, $600, $700 bills minimum.
Yep.
Man, I cannot imagine what his was. But anyway, the bottom line is he made more than enough money out of, the sheer numbers, Miss Marie, the sheer numbers he worked, paid for that and more, as you can imagine. Mm-hmm. So anyway, and you know what, Miss Marie, because he set such a pace, Tim Sales and all those other guys tried to, and Mark Ardell, they talk about it in their books. They tried to keep up. They couldn't, that's how, but because they tried to keep up, the activity level that they had was above what they would have done for themselves. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to disappoint him, and they were literally trying to keep up because they saw the results he was getting. So they're like, hey, I need to do that too. Now, I don't know if I'd have to talk to them. The only person I've really talked to is Jerry Campese, and we were very close. And Jerry built an unbelievable business, but I know he didn't work 20 hours a day. He probably worked 14, but I don't think he worked 20. And he was a financial planner, a very successful, owned his own business, et cetera, and was tired of that and saw an opportunity. Knew nothing about network marketing. A nice guy, man. Super nice guy. All right. Well, with that said, Miss Marie, I think we covered it. Did I leave anything uncovered or unclear?
Not that I can think of. I think we done good.
We did good. Well, our goal is not to go real deep. Our goal is to go, skim over the top and give enough information to where people understand. When you get the members area, Miss Marie, I use a whiteboard and sometimes online presentations to go into greater depth to show that process. So there you go. There's a reason why you want to be a member. So with that being said, tomorrow's subject matter, guys, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, follow the leader, the system we mean, right, Miss Marie?
Mm-hmm.
Follow the leader. What does that mean exactly? Not what you think it means. And the system, what does that exactly mean? How does that go hand in hand? Well, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. And if you will, please visit our website. You guys have been blowing it up. Thank you so much. TheMLM-solution.net. TheMLM-solution.net. Hashtag TheMLM-solution is what you can use to share our podcast, our social media platforms, and our website with our fellow network marketers all across the globe. As you know, on our website, we have all kinds of sales. We have a podcast replay. Man, there's so much there. It's not even funny. And if you will, please hit the share button while you're on our site. Let our fellow network marketers know about that as well. All right, Miss Marie, I think we're done.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern.
Yes, we will.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, TheMLM-solution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.